How's it going, everyone? My name is RJ, and oh man, finally, after a countless number of delays, the 2021 iPad Pro is finally here. Quick disclaimer, this was not sent over to me by Apple, although that would have been pretty cool. Nonetheless, I did in fact purchase this iPad with my own Benjamins, and hopefully it does pay off. I really wanted that 12.9-inch iPad Pro. You know, it comes with that new XDR display. I thought that would have been really cool to check out, but unfortunately I was 5 minutes too late with my pre-order, so I had to go with what was available, which was the 11-inch iPad Pro. I don't know why Apple decided to change it up here. I would have loved to see mini OLED come down to the 11-inch because, believe it or not, there are some people out there that simply use their iPad as a tablet. And I think they would have really appreciated the Pro XDR display experience on a smaller iPad. I haven't seen too many 11-inch iPad Pro unboxings on the internet, so this video might actually be pretty useful for some of you out there if you do like smaller iPads like I do and you opted to go with the 11-inch variant. Just in case you guys are interested in the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, my good buddies Patrick and Alex, I believe, did pick up the 12.9-inch model, so you guys should definitely go and check out their videos. I will link their channels in the description below. You guys should know that this whole week will be dedicated towards iPad related content, so if you want to see more iPad content on the channel, including my full review, do me a huge favor, leave a like on this video to help with the YouTube algorithm, and of course subscribe to the channel for a lot more, because this week should be a very good week for the channel. This year we get this cool new wallpaper on the box. Even though this is the lower end model, the display is still very good. This iPad has a similar resolution and pixel density to the 2020 iPad Pro and a peak brightness of 600 nits. This is a pretty standard iPad Pro unboxing. Thankfully, we still have a 20-watt charger and a USB-C cable. Fun fact, if you do have an iPhone with fast charging, you can use this brick and a USB-C to Lightning cable to get those fast charging speeds without spending the extra money. If you are into Apple stickers, we still get 2 white ones included in the box. I seriously don't know what everybody does with their Apple stickers, but people seem to love them. This is the base version of the 11-inch, so you only get 128 gigabytes of storage. I would have loved to see Apple bump up that storage to 256 as a minimum. A lot of people do use their iPad as a sole computer, and that extra storage capacity would have been much appreciated. Although with the addition of Thunderbolt 3, you can run your work off an external storage and get rather high transfer speeds. Price-wise, the 11-inch starts at $799, but I'm assuming a majority of you would be interested in picking up a Magic Keyboard and the Apple Pencil, which will run you a total of $1,227 before applicable taxes. Now, there was a lot of confusion on whether or not the older 4th generation Magic Keyboard is compatible with the newer iPads. The good news is the older Magic Keyboards are in fact compatible. So if you already have one, there is no need for you to upgrade. If you're interested in a cheaper alternative for a keyboard, I will link a few good ones off of Amazon that I do recommend. Another accessory that I highly recommend for your brand new iPad screen is a screen protector. The XDR display is expensive, and if damaged or scratched, it will probably cost you more than half the price of an M1 iPad to repair. I kid you not. So I recommend this screen protector by Paperlike. A single purchase gives you 2 screen protectors, and this is what I like to call a multi-purpose screen protector. Not only does it protect your iPad screen from scratches and blemishes, but it also gives you that genuine feeling that you are writing on real paper. The strokes while using an Apple Pencil are much smoother, and there is a good amount of friction in between your pencil and the screen protector. This gives you that feeling of a real writing or drawing experience. This is an accessory that I do recommend to everyone no matter what iPad you have. If you want to pick one up, link is in the description below. Now, I've been a fan of the Magic Keyboard for quite some time now. Simply putting it, this is the best keyboard option available to date. So naturally, I had to pick up the new white Magic Keyboard. I know that this will pick up a lot of dust and dirt, so we'll keep an eye on how it holds up in the long term. But I think this combination of silver and white look fantastic. I went for the silver variant because simply that was the only colorway that was available at the time, but low-key, this color is sort of growing on me. This iPad has a very similar design language to what we've all seen before. Very similar to the iPhone 12, you got the flat back, the squared edge design, and it seems like Apple is going for a uniform look across all of their products. Setting up an iPad is super simple. If you have an older iPad like I do, just hover it over your new iPad and follow the simple scan instructions. 15 to 20 minutes later, all of your apps will be transferred over, and now the fun begins. This is the 2018 12.9-inch iPad Pro. And I kept myself from upgrading because I didn't think any iPads up until this one was worth it. This 2021 iPad Pro does have some new features that I find intriguing that may be able to justify the upgrade. Before we get into it, I just want to say that the 12.9-inch iPad Pro in comparison is massive. I mean, I appreciate the bigger display and all of that, but something about the portability and the smaller design language of the 11-inch really has my attention. Yes, the display is smaller, but you still get 120Hz ProMotion for butter smooth scrolling and animations. This display still supports a P3 wide color gamut, and 99% of you out there will be more than satisfied with this display. Unless you are a professional content creator or someone who uses Lightroom and LumaFusion a lot and you need that color accuracy, I would recommend saving the extra money and going for the 11-inch iPad Pro. Let's not forget that size can be very deceiving. In this thin form factor, you get the M1 Apple Silicon chipset. This is the same chipset found in Apple's new lineup of MacBook Pros. This tablet is future-proof for many years to come, and I believe that Apple is doing this because we are eventually going to need that raw power for the eventual release of Pro applications such as Final Cut Pro and Xcode. I'm holding out for Final Cut Pro to come to the iPad, and that was a major justifying factor in upgrading. Being able to edit videos using an Apple Pencil is an experience that I'm dying to try. The inclusion of the M1 chip on an iPad is the key reason why I'm okay with this price tag. For $799, you are getting a powerhouse in this thin tablet form factor. Now, the question of whether or not we will be able to take advantage of all of this power really depends on what Apple decides to do with iPadOS 15. This year, Apple really beefed up the camera capabilities. I've never really been an advocate for iPad cameras, but this year they have a really neat feature called Center Stage. On the front of the iPad, we have a 12 megapixel front-facing camera with a true depth sensor. If you go into the ultra-wide view, Center Stage now becomes applicable. This essentially shifts your camera around to keep you in frame and in focus, even if you are moving. I can also see Center Stage trickling down to the upcoming iPhone 13 Pro. This is a really neat feature that's perfect for Zoom and FaceTime calls. I can even see this being very useful for content creators. Now imagine Center Stage with portrait video. You would get that nice background blur all while keeping yourself in focus. Perfect for content creation. Over on the back, we have a 12 megapixel wide and a 10 megapixel ultra wide, as well as a LiDAR scanner for AR capabilities. There's one port over on the bottom, a USB-C/Thunderbolt 3 port. This allows you to use your iPad on an external monitor with just one USB-C connection. If the iPad is your main computer and you really want to use it on a bigger screen, you will really appreciate this. Although you still do get those black bars on either side, which can be rather annoying. Now that you know a little bit about the new iPad Pros, the question becomes, do you need to upgrade? Well, there are a few key reasons to upgrade this year. First of all, this is one of the most powerful devices in the world. Secondly, there are some neat new features this year like Center Stage, and you do get a Thunderbolt 3 port for external monitor support and faster transfer speeds. If that seems like a worthy enough reason for you to upgrade, then by all means pull the trigger because this is a worthwhile purchase. If you're waiting on Apple to change the design of the iPads, then you will be waiting for quite some time, because I don't see how Apple can really improve upon this already futuristic build. I will leave you guys with my iPad Air 4 review. That video already has over 100k views, so definitely check that out if you are interested in a great iPad Pro alternative. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to flex with your tech.